What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown. Didi out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh, and why do I do this podcast? But go to YouTube right now and check out the podcast so you know why I just rolled my eyes and why I don't know why I do this podcast and why I am now very happy to jump out of 2025 and go back to 2005 because today it's 2005 brunch. We're going to be talking all things music because Billboard put out this great list of the top 100 songs of 2005, and we're going to go back 20 years. And I'm telling you, this was one hell of a year of music. So we've got that, and we'll talk some other 2005 stuff, but we're going back in time this week. And yeah, it's the Brunch Breakdown.
What's
Dan,
wrong,
let
D?
everyone know where they can, I don't know, buy those sunglasses or have a first grader write yinz on something.
Bye. These
Whatever.
are one of a kind, brother. We had
The floor is yours, guys.
So Chris and I were rocking some Jey Uso Yeet style WWE Yeet style sunglasses that the Pittsburgh Pirates had a WWE night that we attended. More on that later. And instead of Yeet, they say Yins, and they are just gorgeous. People lined up for hours outside the ballpark to get in, be one of the first 20,000 people in to get these sunglasses. And no, not everybody got them. Very popular, very hot item. See if any of these make it on eBay later this week. But Chris, we look beautiful right now.
It feels like I'm looking through macaroni and cheese.
It is. It's a tough eyesight to look through these. They didn't do it where it's not perforated.
No,
The
it's
image
like
isn't perforated. It's on there.
it's just like paint.
It's
And there's going to be several accidents on I-376 this week from people who got these at the Pirate game and then couldn't see while they were driving and crashed their car. I promise you.
That's why WWE doesn't sell them. The Yeet sunglasses are very, very popular, but they've never put them on the market. I think they're deathly afraid people are going to wear these while driving and just get into accidents all the time. And I can see why. I mean, I can't see, but I can see why. And they're beautiful. And yeah, you need to see it right now. Stop what you're doing right now. Get to YouTube, get to Facebook, get to Spotify right there in the app. Check out the video pod. Here we are. Beautiful. So we rocked these all day yesterday. I will not be able to sit here all day with these
I can't wear it anymore.
It
Hurts my eyes.
was a
I'm
challenge.
already hungover enough from yesterday. I
Yeah.
can't look through this anymore.
For real. But yes, the video episodes, you can see what we're talking about, these beautiful things. YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Every Wednesday, the video pod comes out. The audio pod, first thing Wednesday morning. All right, first thing. You can find it on Napster, LimeWire, Kazaa. We're shouting back to 2005. Okay, that's where you
Pure-
can find the pod.
Pure volume. Check out
Pure
our
volume.
MySpace page.
Check out our MySpace page. Yeah, for sure. We're there at Brunch Breakdown. Every other, popular social media that's come along since then as well. We're there. But anywhere podcasts are available every Wednesday, hit download, hit subscribe, hit follow, whatever you would like to call it there. And then, of course, give you the sounds of brunch. Okay. Music, big category, big topic on this pod each and every week.
Oh, yeah.
Especially today, right? So you got to check out the sounds of brunch. It's rocking, it's rolling. You can find that updated on Spotify every Friday. Last week's music, new music this week. And just like in advance, you're welcome. You're welcome for the sounds of brunch. So on with the show, Yins.
Beautiful. All right. Chris, get it off your chest, sir.
Um, I am trying to do some quick research and not finding the answer that I want, but I just want to say that yesterday was the first Pirate game I have been to, and the first Pirate game I've actually spent my own money on in like at least, I was doing the math in my head yesterday, at least 11 years. Okay. Because I made a very, very serious commitment to myself and my morals that I would not pay Bob Nutting with my own money. But shout out to Pete, who's getting married. We went there. He came into town, and so I had to do it. But like lots of things I observed yesterday at the Pirate game. The one I want to talk about the most, though, and we're not breaking any news here. The fact that they basically only sell beers in pint-sized cans, and then those cans are like $18 is just abso-fucking-lutely ridiculous. I cannot believe, like, it's just, and the research I'm trying to do here is what was that, since this is 2005 in this episode,
Yeah.
what was the cost of beer at a baseball game in 2005?
Oh.
Cannot find that answer. I did find that a 6-pack of beer in 2005 averaged $7.11. $7.11 for a 6-pack. Now you can't even buy 6-packs. It's like mostly cases. And I'm seeing that, what is this? In 2024, Major League Baseball beer prices, the average was $7.18 last year in Major League Baseball. The average was why were we paying $15, $18 a can for beer yesterday? It's just what this team and what this owner does to rip off this city is just unbelievable. And I spent like $200 on this Pirate game yesterday with having 1 ticket and 4 beers. It's unbelievable. I'm hungover, and so I don't feel good to begin with, but then I'm just upset at myself. That's all. It's just ridiculous.
Oh God. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry, man.
We had a grand old time, though.
We had
We
fun.
really did.
I
We didn't
had a
pay a
blast.
whole lot of attention to the game, but let me tell you what. You can't walk super far in PNC Park without hitting a big old bar.
It's crazy, man.
You didn't have to walk very far. They're adding
We went
bars.
to the rotunda at the one point, and I was telling Dan that it's been a while since I've been here, and I was like, they put a bar underneath the escalators because there was a little bit of empty space. Like they have crammed so many things into that ballpark that have nothing to do with baseball that gets people to get, like, from a business perspective, it's incredible. But from like a fan perspective, it's just so embarrassing.
Well, I'm
was
gonna piggyback off this because this gives me this is not what I was going to talk about today. I was going to talk about Beyonce. But
audible.
I'm gonna talk about who's incredible, but I'll talk about something else. So I'm gonna tell you why Bob Nutting is the greatest owner in the history of baseball and the greatest person in possibly the entire Pittsburgh area. So in Wellsburg, we have a little league just like lots of other places do. Well, found out somebody was embezzling money from the little league, $30,000. So they almost didn't have a season. So freaking with help of the mayor and help of a lot of other people in Wellsburg, they got a hold of the Pirates. Bob Nutting came down, wrote a check to the Wellsburg Little League. Now they have a season. They're putting new field stuff down. They're putting new scoreboards, all this stuff. Bob Nutting came down, gave the check. Some other people, some former Pirates players came down, all that stuff for opening day. So Bob Nutting, I know Chris doesn't like you, but Daniel Dudley loves you. You are the greatest owner in the history of baseball, and I have nothing but kind words to say about you and everything you're all about. So you can check that out. You can check that story out on what's the Pirates network called? Pittsburgh Sports Net or whatever they call it, something.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can check that out on their YouTubes and socials. The story, it's pretty crazy, but yeah. So shouts to Bob Nutting.
So that's like a recent. That's like a recent story.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
recent?
Oh yeah. Very recent. I love you, Bob.
Kevin
You're a legend.
McClatchy was the owner in 2005, and I would go back in a heartbeat.
Oh boy, he was trash too. But
He
yeah.
at least, like, I felt like he wasn't good at it, but I feel like he
No.
was at least like interested in the team winning
Right.
baseball games. He
He's
didn't
like,
make any.
he's like,
good
I don't have any
decisions.
money, but we're gonna try. We're not even getting that part right now, but it's nice that everybody. The big thing around town is that Bob Nutting doesn't spend any money on the team because apparently he's spending it funding every little league team within the tri-state area. So thanks for exploiting that, Didi. Now we know where the money's going.
Hey,
That Seven Springs money's drying up real quick, isn't it? No.
just my guy, Bob. Dan, get it off your chest.
I would, except I just disconnected my microphone.
I can hear you.
There we go.
I
We're
can
back.
hear you.
Jeez, oh man. Well, I'm gonna just bleed right off of the kind of what Chris was talking about there.
Bleed, Dan, bleed.
Bleed it in. A lot of people say when you reach a certain age, and it's usually in your like mid 30s, I'd say is a common time to hear this. Like you're just too old to make friends. right? You reach that point in your life and you're like, I'm maxed out. I got my people. The effort, there's just, I'm not motivated to do it. I don't need to make new friends. But my dear friends, I tell you here today, you really are never too old to make new friends because over the weekend, celebrating our dear friend Peter, friend of the program, listener of the program, we've got a lot of common friends. But we got to meet some people on Pete's side of life that we never had before. And, we had a great time. We had a great time meeting some new people, making some new friends. And, it's a pretty odd scenario. I mean, not odd at this point in our lives, but when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, you've literally never met somebody before, and then you spend like 40 straight hours with them nonstop. You get to know people pretty well. You're like, I can get down with this guy. Okay, I think I get it. I got it. And now in 5 weeks, we'll see them at the wedding and hug them like we've been friends for 20 years. And I look forward to that. So, that was that growing up, the old adage of, what is it? Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. Just go find some silver medals. Just go find some silver. They don't have to be the gold. Just go find some silver. It's not too late. It's a good time. That's what I'm saying. Just like, it's still possible, people. You can make new friends late in life. When Daniel has like a completely puzzled look on his face.
I am lost. I thought that story was going somewhere.
You're not too old. You're not too old to make new friends.
That's
the moral of the story. Because a lot of people at our age, particular, say like they're done. They're good.
I stopped making friends a long time ago, and I can't figure out why. I don't know what happened.
Chris is like, it's not me, it's them. It's everyone else.
Yeah, I put myself out there. I'm on Bumble trying to find some people.
It's
just not working.
It's tough out there.
I should just show up to random bachelor parties.
I'll tell you what, though, or go to Pirates games because it's a scene, brother. It's a scene. I was like, why wasn't this a thing 10 years ago? It's a scene, man. I'll tell you that. It was. We might as well been at a sports bar somewhere watching the game. Might as well what we've been doing. Hanging around, eating apps.
Right.
Drinking beers.
Not really watching the baseball game.
That's
what they want you to do. They don't want you to pay
Socializing.
attention to the fact that none of the players on the team have a 300 or better batting average. Dan was breaking the stats down for me yesterday. It's ridiculous. Okay? It's ridiculous. That's what they want you to do. That's why
I just can't understand you're not young. So why are you acting like this is such a shock to you that the PNC Park is the best place for alfresco dining in Pittsburgh? I've been saying this forever. That's what that place is about.
Yes.
It's never been about winning. There
Right.
were those 3 years or so where they won. If you count the epic
14,
collapse,
15,
then you can
yeah.
count that too. So that's fine. But there were that 4-year stretch where it was like, oh, we win here, but that was never what you do there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's not what you do. It's like, no, come on, guys. Come on. You guys got to get your mind right. Everything you talked about with this Pirate game sounds exactly right. You got cool free stuff you're really excited about. You drank. You found all the bars there. You hung out with friends. You had good time. You made new friends. That's what going to Pirates games is all about. I don't know where you guys have been living. I've been gone for almost 11 years.
Well, I'm not going to speak for Dan. I want a different baseball game experience. I don't want that experience. I want the one.
We've had that forever.
Yeah,
we're kind of like over it.
When we're
kind of overpaying those prices.
You know what we did in
for the product on the
2005?
field.
You know what we did in 2005 when we went to Pirate games? In 2005, me and Dan would buy the cheapest tickets that we could get. We would sit in those seats and scan. We would not watch the baseball game. We would scan every single section in PNC Park until we found the shaved lemonade ice guy, and then we would run to that section to get shaved lemonade ice. That we didn't watch the baseball game. I want a baseball experience where like the game matters. I think it would be cool. But back to the Friends thing. Let's talk about Friends.
Okay.
What would you say? I feel like, and maybe this is because it's my personal experience. You're not too old to make friends at any point in life, but the chances of you making like a really, really good friend, like best friend status, drops precipitously as you get older.
No doubt.
You think that's true? Like, I think less people find like really, really good friend. They find more like friend acquaintances. I have many friend acquaintances that we meet from like daycare, kids go to school, activities, all that type of stuff. But like the really good friends I have are from K through college.
Yeah. Yeah. If you meet the silver. You meet the silver. They're not gold. They're not going to be gold level.
Gotcha.
They're not going to be gold level friends.
Now,
I would agree.
Now
I would
understand that saying. Now
I would agree. I would agree. Yeah. To find like those really like no one's gonna beat that level this stage of life.
Like
So
that
I'm
guy
with you.
that'll run across PNC Park with you to get some lemon ice.
Right.
You know? I'm not
You're just
finding
not finding those anymore. You're not
Yeah.
finding those friends. You're not meeting those. You're not meeting those people.
It's hard. Didi, what's on your mind today?
Yeah.
I mean,
Good thing you didn't talk about Beyonce, huh?
Oh
This
yeah,
was
he
definitely
already
the way to,
talked
this was
about
definitely the way to go.
Talking
He
about
already
my guy
talked
Bob
about
Nutting.
it.
He already got his.
But anyways, I did go see Beyonce. It was awesome. I paid way too much money for alcohol at SoFi Stadium, but that's just what you do. But anyways, one thing I will say about that before we go to things, one thing is literally go see go see your legends while you can, while they're still doing it. Because in like, I don't know, 5-10 years, Beyonce will not be moving like that anymore. She will be singing ballads in a residency in Vegas or something like that, which she can do and it'll be amazing and I will be there. But like, just seeing her still be able to do what she does for almost 3 hours in concert and like, you're leaving the place like, what the fuck did I just see? Just telling you. Go see the legends, man. Go see your people. Go see them.
That's great. That's a great point. And it's something I think we've talked about on this podcast many moons ago was like, the legends you speak of, they're not going to be touring in their 60s and 70s because they don't have to.
No.
Like the fact that AC/DC put on a show in Pittsburgh this past week and the place was freaking like sold out. I'm like, what on earth? And listen, I know some people went there, perfectly normal. Not everybody at that show is normal, including the band. And it's just like, I'm looking forward to not having to do that in my later years in life. Is to go see 21 Pilots perform when they're 65 in a stadium.
Dan, you'll be there. You'll be.
Oh, you no doubt I'll be there. I don't want to do it.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, let's get into brews. Christopher, what you sipping on?
I had 2 Cinderland Raisits yesterday. Delightful hazy IPA. In addition to many other beers, and I'm feeling that this morning, but those were delicious. I do like that there's craft beer in the ballpark. Like that's pretty cool. The Cinderlands has like a
Step the game up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Local craft beer at PNC Park.
You guys,
How about that?
they're giving you everything you want.
That's what they're trying to get us in for, and we're not doing it.
I just don't get it. It
Just
sounds
'cause
like a glorious day.
Just because I say it's cool doesn't mean I want it. Doesn't mean that's, like those are 2 different things. There's
Sounds
a lot
like-
of things that are cool that I don't want,
This
A
sounds like
Lamborghini is cool. If I'm driving a Lamborghini around my neighborhood, I'm going to be so embarrassed with myself. Everyone's going to hate. Like, there's things that are cool that you don't want. And that's one of them. But I had it, and it was delicious. I think you're cool. I don't want you to look at me like that.
like my face during this whole episode is just, I'm so like, you two hungover is not good for the brunch breakdown. Like I'm starting to realize that. Oh man. All right. So what I was sipping on this week, I did a commercial for a non-alcoholic tequila called Almave, right? And I was not expecting this to be good. I was expecting it to taste like trash. I've done another thing with non-alcoholic stuff, something called Seed Lip, and it was like it tasted like juice. I was like, this makes no sense. But Almave, let me tell you, I don't know how the hell they did this. I guess they make it from agave plants that like they make tequila with, but it's not alcoholic, and it tastes just like tequila. And I was floored. So when you make a like a Paloma, or you make a spicy margarita or whatever, it tastes like tequila. Like you could have this, you could make this at your house for friends, and they would just be wondering why they're not getting drunk. I kid you not. Because when I was doing that, I was like, holy shit. Like it tastes, it's amazing. So shouts to the people at Almave for figuring this out. Because I feel like most non-alcoholic liquors that I've tried have all been, they just taste like, I'm like, why am I doing this? This tastes like juice. This tastes like seltzer water. This tastes like just, I don't know. This is kind of silly. So Almave, you guys did it. Because I'm telling you, I was like, anytime I want tequila on a random Tuesday night, I'm gonna crack open some Almave and not be hungover. So, yeah. So shouts to them.
Shouts to them. All right. I'm gonna give you two, and I have to look up the second one because I can't remember what it's called because it just hit me. While I'm doing that, I'll tell you what. The beer of the weekend was Iron City Light, Icy Light. It was, and it made me feel proud.
You felt pride too?
Well, hang on.
You guys had the best time.
It made me feel proud.
That's the point, Didi. We had a great time. That's the point. No one, based on this baseball team, should go into that ballpark and have a great time. If it was about the baseball. Didi, you're not getting this. The point is that we didn't want to have a good time, but we had a good time. Okay?
Why can't you get that through your head?
God, man, you guys, that is what PNC, like, if you wanted to go to a baseball game, like, go to Milwaukee. Like, are the Indians good? Are the Indians good this year? Like, you guys could have went there. Or, sorry, what are they?
Come on.
What are they?
The Guardians.
The Commanders? The Guardians. My bad.
The Commanders.
I was like,
too soon.
Too soon, man.
My bad. Sorry. Well, go see the Commanders and you'll be good.
No, that's not.
No, it's the Guardians again. I mean, they will be. They are. That's a good team. You can get a new stadium. Pride. I had some pride because the out of towner boys. I'm like, listen, welcome to the Steel City. Here's some Iron City, and brought some over to the Haas. Enjoying it. I might try it. If you like the watered down beers, the Bud Lights, the Miller Lights of your world, it's got a little more flavor to you. Okay. We use the water straight from the Mon, gives a little extra something. Okay? You're welcome. And then we're out on the ton, and the boys can pick whatever they want. What are they picking up? Icy Light. Round of Icy Lights. And I'm like, fitting right in. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Dan started showing him house listings after that.
Love it or list it. Here we go. Pittsburgh, Steel City edition. But we also made our way over to Southern Tier Brewing, favorite of mine, this weekend, and they have a Pittsburgh brew that they do locally here called the Orange Belt. Now, for those unfamiliar, Pittsburgh has a roadway system that are belts, and it's literally just circles. Right? There's circles. There's a small circle around the city, then a medium circle around the city, and then a big circle, and then a bigger circle than that. And that used to be how you gave people directions, was like, get on the orange belt and then get off at this exit. It's a crazy thing that for some reason the signs are still up. No one uses it. So they call this the Orange Belt. And it's a sour, a light, not like a really sour, but they brew it with orange soda. And the ABV, gentlemen, 3.5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
3.5.
Crushable.
I'm like pretty sure I have mouthwash that's stronger than this, and dangerously crushable. It might as well be orange pop, because crushable. That's gonna be a summertime hit here in Steel City. Is the Orange Belt from Southern Tier. So that was a nice little tip of the weekend as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that is Brews Day. That is what we are sipping on. And boys, Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm sorry you guys had such a great time this weekend.
You should be.
Don't bring it up again. Okay.
Man. All right. Well, let's get into the menu. Let's go back to 2005, boys. Billboard put out their top 100 songs of 2025. This is the staff pick. So this isn't like based on chart performance. This is basically based on, how they feel about these songs now, how they perform then a little bit, but it's the staff pick. So this isn't stat based. This is more opinion based than anything. So, boys, when you looked at this list and you saw that, what's our scrap? I thought it was Holla Back Boy. No, Mr. Brightside is number 1 by The Killers. Best song of 2005. How you feel?
I have so much trouble with these lists because if I'm thinking about the songs from 2005 that had the most staying power, this one they're singing this in stadiums across the globe, right? At sporting events. Like this is like what you hear this every Saturday and Sunday during football season, and you see it at soccer matches in Europe. It's everywhere. But in 2005, when I was experiencing it, I was like, cool song,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just have so much trouble analyzing these lists, looking back on it, because I want to do it by putting myself in 2005, as opposed to looking at it now. And it's that song is still huge.
I think that's what's interesting about this list, right? It's like a reevaluation of how those songs kind of now, and that it is so opinion based. I mean, I like to call this song "White People Anthem" because it is.
It is.
No matter where it's played, get up. Here we go. We're singing along. I have no problem with this being number 1, though. I mean, this is it's incredible that if you look at this as 100 songs, you look at this list, that this all came out in 1 year is kind of nuts, because there's some great songs on here. But I have no problem with this being number 1 just because of its staying power and kind of looking as a reevaluation of those songs now. Is it the best song from that year? Probably not, right? It's up there, but the fact that it has so much staying power and it's so popular and everybody knows every word, it's like it has to be considered.
That's wrong. Everyone doesn't know every word. I'm letting you know, everyone does not know every word to Mr. Brightside. They don't.
They
don't.
act
Listen,
like they
I'm not
know.
saying-
They
Yes,
act like
do.
they know,
They
which is
do,
good
but
enough.
There you go. I hate when people say that everybody knows all the words to Mr. Brightside. I'm like, no. Even the person who's like, that is my favorite song of all time, probably doesn't know all the words to Mr. Brightside. I'm just being honest.
They know
they
the
don't.
melody. They know the
Mhm.
melody.
They know
Yeah.
they get the first 2 lines, and then they're like, "I gotta be down."
Yeah. Because when I see that at college football stadiums and stuff like that, and they're playing that famous video from Michigan, and you can tell when the jealousy.
Lullabies.
It's yeah, I can tell when people know the words and don't.
Like the
I just-
19-year-olds, it's like you
Like,
you better
come on.
recognize the,
yeah,
you better
come on.
learn.
Yeah, everyone doesn't know the words of that song, but no, great song. But I thought the same thing. I guess that was my problem when going through this list, was just you get to the top 10 and you see what they did, and I'm like, yeah, but were these the best songs of 2005? No, they weren't.
Yeah.
That's my issue with this list. But it's cool to go through it, because honestly, if they were to put Mariah Carey's "We Belong Together" as number 1 in 2005, I'd felt better about it.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not that it's my favorite song of 2005. It was just the biggest song of 2005. "We Belong Together" was as big as anything, and I was just like, and I love that song, and so yeah, I would have had no problem with that. I completely understood it. Mr. Brightside in 2005, I was like, that's a good song. Killers, they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mariah, that came in at number 3, right? "We Belong
Yeah.
Together" came in at 3. We'll run out. I think we should run off the top 10 real quick.
Yeah,
Gwen Stefani's "Holla Back Girl" came in at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye West, Jamie Foxx, "Gold Digger," number 4. Fall Out Boy, "Sugar We're Going Down," number 5. Rihanna, "Ponder Replay," "Hello," number 6. Natasha Bedingfield, "Unwritten," number 7. Cascada, Every Time We Touch, number 8. Madonna, Hung Up, number 9. And rounding out the top 10, Missy Elliott, Sierra, Fat Man Scoop. Music make you lose control.
Let's go. R.I.P. Fat Man Scoop.
Yep. So how do you feel generally comfortably about that top 10? It's a long list of 100, but top 10, are you comfortable? Even unranked, even just as a group of 10 songs from that year?
I mean, that's a great list of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can't hate on that. Except for
I hate
Madonna.
that Hollaback song. I think that's terrible, but it's not
Really?
It's not about what I think.
Even back. What about back in 2005?
Hated it, Dan.
Really?
What did I listen to and dress like in 2005?
Well, you're Fall Out Boys on this list, so you're good there. But
Yeah, I was actually wondering why Blink wasn't on this list, and then I recalled that between 2003 and 2010 they didn't put out an album because they like broke up and all that shit.
yeah, first time.
Yeah, but
Right.
it warmed my heart that there was an emo pop punk song in the top 10, and I actually thought that there should have been more in general throughout the 100 because it was still like a very prevalent time for that genre. But
Yeah. That's another one. Hollaback Girl. I feel like not everybody knows the words to it. But few times around the track, not
No
gonna
idea.
happen like that.
Yeah, it's the beat for that song that does it.
Oh, it's great.
That, like,
Great
you
music
could've put-
video too.
Yeah, like
Stefani, phenomenal.
Yeah, like you could put anything on that. Like, and I just remember because that was the days of like Napster and shit. So there were just like a million different versions of that song that were like, not real. Where they're just like putting rap. It was like Gwen Stefani's "Hollaback Girl" featuring Fabulous, P. Diddy,
Yeah.
Jay-Z,
Yeah.
Eve, blah blah blah. It was just like, yeah, there's just a ton, and then that beat is just awesome. When that shit comes on, like, shut it down.
Yeah. And you know what? To this day, still teaching people how to spell. This
Hey,
shit is
man.
bananas. Bananas.
Fire.
So shout out to Gwen. Just 20 years later, teaching people how to spell.
she's an innovator, an educator, all good stuff.
But now the music she puts out is straight garbage. But respect what you did. Respect
Can't
what
do
you
it
did.
forever.
I also have an issue with Madonna's "Hung Up" because that song is great because she stole or borrowed, like some people like to say, music from an ABBA song is what makes that song so catchy. It's literally the music from ABBA that she's singing over. The ABBA song was already great. Madonna on it, I mean, it makes sense, but I think she gets way too much credit for that song being that good. It should be Feet ABBA or something like that because it's a fine song. It was a catchy song, but it's catchy because of ABBA, not because of Madonna. So I got a little beef with that in the top 10.
Got it. Well, can I tell you what my favorite song on this list was? And I
Yeah.
was happy that it was number 20 after looking at the top 10. All right. One Thing by Amory is actually if I were to go back to 2005,
Whoa.
I 100% know what my favorite song was, the person I had the biggest crush on in entertainment. And that song is so good. One Thing by Amory would 100% was my favorite song of 2005. Like,
Wow.
not even a question. I'm happy it's number 20 here because based on how they did when they got down to the 10 and they were like, all right, we're going to throw every extremely popular person in this list on here. Like, that was Amory's moment. That was it. There were no other moments after that. That's why when you make these lists, it's like you can't just be like, all right, Rihanna's in the top 10. I love Pon de Replay too, but I'm like, how much do we all love Pon de Replay in 2005? I don't know. I remember the song being Big Deal, but I don't know. Like, it's not the song that I would go back to be like 2005. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm.
no. But Amory, like, that's one of those things. Like, we talked about Cheerleader by Omi last week. Hey, listen.
Right.
Omi had no other moments. He had that one moment. 2015 summer is his. Like, you can't just go back and like, recreate history just because like somebody else that was like bigger now had a song then. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't just go back and do that. Like, you got to be honest with these lists.
That's fair. That's a really good point because I think there are some other really great songs on this list that again, you're reevaluating them now, but don't you? Pussycat Dolls, Busta Rhymes. That topped at number 2 on the Billboard 100 chart in 2005, and it's number 30 on this list. That song was amazing.
By the way, Busta Rhymes is on this list, is on the top 100 3 times. So like this is like, so I'm guessing this is like end of, because Busta was great, but this is like end of Busta Rhymes.
Like end of Busta.
Yeah, this is like end, and it was kind of maybe like nostalgic when I was going through. I was like, oh damn, like this is like Busta was a really big deal.
Yeah,
because he's on this list like 3 times, like 2 features, once his song, and it's like, oh, Busta, shouts to Busta Rhymes. Like, never forget your legends, you know?
Yeah. No, true. Black Eyed Peas making a couple appearances on this one as well.
Of course.
Talk about a moment in time. They were like the biggest group in the world.
Yeah. Well, I remember. So the Steelers won the Super Bowl in 2005, and then I think the next year, the Thursday night opener. Everything about human history for me is dated by football, by the way. I remember the next year, the Thursday night game was in Pittsburgh, and like the Black Eyed Peas were performing on a stage in Point State Park. Like I remember that vividly. And so when I was looking back on this list, I was like, oh yeah, Black Eyed Peas, they were huge.
Yeah.
This was a big time.
This was
before Fergie went off and did Fergie, I think.
Yeah.
This was like when they started their ascent of just being everywhere. Possible.
Yeah.
You got to remember, Black Eyed Peas played the Super Bowl when the Super Bowl performances weren't popular people. You got to remember that. Like, they were just like, all right, it was like Prince, like Neil Sedaka or something, some other random person, like the Rolling Stones, and then Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, right.
They were like, I mean, everybody loves the Black Eyed Peas. They were making all the jock jams at that time. So it was
right.
Yeah.
My humps coming in at 57.
Yeah.
On the list.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Oh man. Are there any others? Are there songs on here? What songs on here were there any songs on here that you were like, oh damn, that came out in 2005? Were you surprised?
Queens of the Stone Age, Little Sister. I swore that song was older than this. And for some reason, that song also has staying power. It gets ranked at 84. It's a fine song, but it sticks for some reason. It really does. And I think just the Queens of the Stone Age era was so like kind of brief, and it just feels older than this. Actually, I thought I would have thought pre 2005 for sure, but Queens of the Stone Age. I don't know why. Why is that song still around? It's also played in sports venues. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. There were I more so had realizations about like, oh man, remember when Kanye was normal or like normaler, you know? Like there's lots of Kanye on here. Just totally we're at the point in life now where we totally forget the era of Kanye that everybody loved, you know, because he's
right.
And then like some people like Mary J. Blige and like Beck, like they seem so old now, but like back then they were like elders, but they were still pumping stuff out, right?
Yeah.
And now I don't know. So it just makes me feel old, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Be Without You. Oh my God, that song's so good. That song's so good. God, there's so much R&B on this list. That's what bothers me. That's what made me feel like, if anything made me feel the most old, is just how like everyone just dumped R&B, and now R&B is having this like resurgence 20 years later, where it's like, oh yeah, why did we stop caring about people who sang? Why did we all of a sudden stop caring about having sex with girls? Like, why did we stop? How did we stop? Like, why did we stop doing all this? Why did we stop making love music, guys? But yeah, there's so much on this list. Like, Let Me Love You by Mario on this list. Like, I think it's 27. Like, come on.
That's because it was like the introduction of somebody else on this list, John Legend.
Oh, ordinary people. Fuck.
We're just ordinary people. I mean, and then he just took over. He's like, I'm gonna do the love making stuff, but I'm gonna do it in a different style. I'm gonna do it behind the ivories, okay? and that's how we're gonna do it here. But that's a great song. That's a great song.
There's actually a very not that anything about the fires were funny, but there is this really awkward moment where like people were trying to do stuff to uplift the firefighters during the fires this year and stuff. And there's this clip of like John Legend singing "Ordinary People" to like a bunch of firefighters.
Oh no.
It's honestly the funniest shit. It's just like, I see that. I know this is what you do, John, but you just around like a couple 6-foot white tables at like lunchtime for people who've just been fighting fires, singing "Ordinary People." I'm like, dude, just talk. Just say like, I'm here for you. Say some words. Do some nice things. Because like he lives in Malibu, so I get it. But I'm also like, but it's just the funniest thing. It's just like he's belting out just like in some random parking lot with a bunch of 6-foot tables. Just like...
He's singing "Ordinary People" to extraordinary people.
Yes. I didn't even think about it that way.
They're like, what'd he call us? You serious?
So,
John, why don't you grab a hose, brother?
Yeah, seriously.
Dude, it's just it was like the fun. Honestly, like the fires weren't funny, but that was like one of the things that was like, what is happening, guys? What are we doing? What are we doing? You didn't have to sing, John.
Right.
You didn't. You didn't have
Thanks
to.
for coming. Drop off the Dunkin' Donuts and get the hell out of here.
Oh God. So as for songs that I like didn't know were this like I started listening to Coldplay in like I don't know 2009 or something. So like I know Fix You of course, but I definitely thought Fix You was like older than 2005. And seeing that on here was like I'm like scrolling through and I was like, wait. I just thought I don't know. I just thought Fix You was older than that. I thought Fix You came out in like maybe 2000, maybe 99. I don't know because I just didn't look. Coldplay just seems so old. Seemed so much old. Seems older to me at the time that I started listening to Coldplay that I thought they were around longer than they were around. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So. Same on that note. Howie Day, Collide. Like that's an all-time grocery store music Hall of Famer. That song's in the Hall of Fame. That song could be 30 years old. And I'd be like, yeah, that's right. That's right. 2005? Doesn't seem right.
Is it potentially, is it possible that like as time has gone on, that Ashley Simpson actually has more memorable songs than Jessica Simpson?
Yes.
Because I can sing L-O-L-O-L-O-V-E, and I can't even tell you the name of a Jessica Simpson song right now.
On Monday, I was on Tuesday, I was
like Ashley Simpson is on this list. She's on this list 2 spots ahead of Britney Spears. Like Ashley Simpson had a moment.
Yeah.
The way that feels.
Yeah, and you know. And the thing that sucks about Ashley Simpson, because like the world was so different back then, was that her career plummeted because like her backing track started playing on SNL. Everyone uses a backing track.
Oh right. Yeah, that's
but because and everyone shit on that, like she didn't sing live or something like that. And like if that would have happened today, no one would have gave a shit. Not one bit. But the world was everything was so much smaller then, where these things mattered and SNL mattered in a way that it doesn't now and all that stuff. And it was just like everyone just shit on this young girl and then career's over. And we fucking loved Ashley Simpson.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
yeah.
What? Like, come on. But yeah, 100%. I don't know a Jessica Simpson song. Like, I'm sure I did back then. Like, I saw her on the TRL tour.
Yeah, I saw her at Starlake one year. I know that. Yeah. I don't know what she sang though.
Right.
No, because the song that I'm thinking, no, I think that's a Jewel song that I'm thinking of. It's like, because you guys remember when Jewel put out like a pop song and she was like, it's called Intuition. Like, I don't know why I always think that was Jessica Simpson. Like, it should have been a Jessica Simpson song, not a Jewel song. But like, Jewel decided she wanted to get naked in like 2000 something.
Right.
So everybody else was doing
just it. So she just decided I'm putting down the guitar. I'm just gonna get naked. So, but I always think that's a Jessica Simpson song, but it's not. It's Jewel. So, yeah. So I don't know Jessica Simpson songs, but yeah.
That's my wife just realized that "According to You" by Orianthi is not a Kelly Clarkson song. So same thing. That was that was a song back in the day. And I was like, Orianthi was Michael Jackson's guitar player. And like, she shreds, dude. Like and I was like that. She's like, oh, I don't know who that is. I was like, according to you, I'm useless. I'm stupid. And she's like, I thought that was Kelly Clarkson.
See?
And then I listened to it and I was like, that's fair. That's fair. It's not, but it's fair.
I got it. Well, anything else stand out for you on this list? Because I know exactly what I'm like. Anything else stick out to you guys on this list before I ask you guys some 2005 questions?
The only thing I'll say is I respect the hell out of these people because they put Nickelback's Photograph at 80, and that song was a monster. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard chart. But I respect them because they are looking back at the song now. It could have been very easily been like a Photograph. That was it. Look at this. Like, that was a huge, huge song. But they're like, you know what? That song sucks. 80. And I respect them.
Yeah. History did not do that song good.
No.
Not one bit.
What's your 2005 trivia there, Dee? Let's dive into some questions.
Boys. So what tech do you want back 2005? From 2005?
I want my Discman and my CD burner so bad. I had the CD burner that was like so big it looked like a VCR, and like you would put the one in and you could like copy it and they would both go, or you could just like hit time points where you recorded just some of one CD, take it out, put another one in, just record some of the other. Like I had like a really nice one, and I was just in my room burning CDs all day. Okay, I would love to get back to that era. Not the best for mowing the grass when you got the Discman skipping all the time.
No, it's not.
So we have made some improvements, but I love that. I love that era.
Yeah.
Mine's a little less on the personal use side, but I want the space shuttle back. You know, we don't have the space shuttle program anymore.
Oh my God.
Did you know that?
Dan, don't get political. Don't get political. Okay?
It's not. You know, we don't have space shuttles anymore. Bring back the space shuttle. I miss the space shuttle.
We're sending rockets into space all the time, aren't we?
I know. Katy
just
Perry
not
was
NASA. It's Elon is sending stuff.
Yeah, and do you see the test runs that they think are going to go well and then explode in the sky? You see those too? Okay, listen, I know space shuttle doesn't have a perfect record, but come on. That's iconic. Bring back the space shuttle.
I wish the Apple products were cool still. Because like I use Apple products now, but like back then, like they were just so cool. They had like the clear monitors and all the shit. Like it was just like all the stuff was innovative and they were doing cool shit. And like, you know, everything came out of that we use now, but nothing has changed since then. It's like the iPod came out. Whoa, that's cool. So let's make the Nano. It's smaller iPod. And then, you know, then nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I remember at that time, like just the Apple products just being cool. And now it's just everything we use, but nothing's changing. I use all Apple products. I love my Apple products, but like, I just want them to be, you know,
dude,
why can't I see through my iPhone?
That's a great point. I was just going to say that, like, it was the iPod, the Nano, the Shuffle, the video iPod, right?
Yeah.
It was all this evolution. And then they introduced the iPhone and they were like,
good night.
This one doesn't have as big rounded corners.
Hey, they got rid of the button.
That's it.
It used to have a button. Now it doesn't have a button.
Yeah.
Got rid of the button. That's it. That's like, we got to get better. That's why not everybody has an iPhone. Everybody had an iPod. Not everybody has an iPhone. We got to get cooler. We got to get cooler with our stuff, Apple. We're just like making things. We're going through the evolution of like things get really, really small and then they get really, really big again. Phones, computers. Like we gotta be cool. We gotta be cool again. Clear is cool. Larry's not white. Larry's clear.
You know, I don't even really want this, but bring back the backs of things too. Like computers used to have backs.
Oh yeah.
TVs used to have backs. Now they're just like part of the house, right? They're just like built into your wall. I want them. Let's pull them out. Let's bring back the back.
Holla back at your back.
Yeah.
That's great. Bring back backs.
Bring back the backs.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Backs. Just bring them back. That's what we want.
Baby got back, and I'm not referring to that young lady.
All right. So a lot of people say this on the internet. Does it feel like 2005 was 20 years ago to you?
No. because that's more than half my life. That's where it gets like disgusting.
When you put it that way, no, yeah, it doesn't feel like it was
More than half my life. I'm like,
yeah,
it wasn't that
doesn't
long
feel-
ago. Come
doesn't feel
on.
that long. But it does feel. It just depends on what lens you look through. Like when Dan says that, it's like no, it doesn't feel that long ago. But it's like in 2005, I was a drum major in high school, and like now I'm looking out the window hoping that my three children aren't like murdering each other while they're playing outside. Like lots has changed.
Yeah, and I think even from the lens we were talking about with music, it's like, yeah, like holy cow. I mean, being in high school, graduating high school that felt like a long time ago. But like, few times been around that track. Like that came out a couple years ago. That song's great. That wasn't 20 years ago. That song's not 20 years old. Come on.
Yeah, for 2005 it's anytime I think that something doesn't feel like it's that long ago, it's like, wait, Candy Shop by 50 Cent feels 20 years old. I like the iPod feels 20 years old. You mentioning LimeWire, Kazaa, and that feels 20 years old. It's like you sit down, you think about it. It's like Chris, you being like, yeah, I was in the band 20 years ago. Like, yeah, 20 years, guys. 20 years. Whew.
All-time greatest year of all time? 2005? What's your mark?
2015. But no.
2015.
The greatest year. I was a really big fan of 2009.
Okay.
Because of the music, because of the trips, because the Steelers and Penguins both won championships.
Yeah, solid.
Okay.
Solid. All right.
Yeah.
Put him on Mount Rushmore.
Graduating college, all that stuff.
Mount Rushmore of years. Throw it on there. Love it. Put that as a topic. Mount Rushmore of years.
Tune in next week. Mount Rushmore of years.
Oh,
man. I really put 92 up there next to Teddy Roosevelt. It just seemed to go together.
Oh, what about the year we won an award? No, because in 2013, Akon had like 7 hits. Okay.
But it don't matter, no. I got you.
Oh man. All right. Well, boys, like I thought this was gonna go one topic today. So what music we add into the playlist? We've talked a lot of music today on the show. Let's do it. What are we throwing on here, guys?
Well, I'm gonna put Sugar We're Going Down. I'm trying to go through this list and pick out a few that I really like, and we got to give all the props to the pop punk kings of 2005. So
love it.
We'll fall
love
out
it.
I'm gonna do something that is a kind of a nod to 2005 and pop punk royalty in the same category you were just speaking of there, Chris. But Avril Lavigne and Simple Plan just released a song this week.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
this week called Young and Dumb, and it's exactly what you want and exactly what you expect from pop punk royalty. And be touring this summer, and I think I'm going to see them. So very excited about that. And that's a throwback to 2005.
Yep, I heard that song this week and was like, yep, this is exactly what I want.
Yeah, right.
Exactly what I want. Exactly what I need. This is it. This is it. From the Billboard's list, a song that I know was humongous amongst my friend group, Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane, So Icy, is 85 on the list, which is criminally low, but that was my introduction to Young Jeezy. I had no idea. We're watching music videos at 2:00 in the morning, college. All of a sudden, some dude with a snowman t-shirt comes on. Crazy. Now Young Jeezy writes cookbooks and things and like all these things. But no, he was the fat snowman back then. So, but Icy it's still so good. So yeah, putting that on the playlist.
I like that. I mean, we gave so much props to Ashley Simpson. Let's put her on there. LOVE.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
gotta do it.
Good call. A song that we kind of briefly breezed through in the top 10, but potential GOAT status for that year. Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten.
Oh, I meant to say something earlier about that's like the unofficial song of this podcast.
It is. Yeah. And she's the queen, and she always will be. Put it on the playlist.
Dude, that song goes crazy after concerts. Like when they'll just like play that as house music and like no one leaves.
Right.
It's crazy. Like went to see Chelsea Cutler like last year at some point and no one left the place. it was like Unwritten came on, and everyone is word for word jam and dancing. It was like coolest atmosphere to leave. Like
Yeah.
everyone's just like losing it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Chris, you mentioned people looking back at Kanye. Let's go back to the guy who was at that time able to play the band geek on the OC. Chris Brown, Run It was on this list. Let's throw Run It.
Oh,
on
dude,
here.
that song though.
I
Dude.
like that.
That song.
Jam. Let's listen. Chris Brown's doing a stadium tour this summer. So like let's
Yeah, he's okay.
and I'm conflicted on what I'm supposed to do with that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Anyways.
he just continues to do fine.
Yeah, he just
Yeah, right. Isn't that unbelievable?
continues to do fine when
He's-
any of us would be in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Daddy Yankee's on this list, and I'm not gonna put the Daddy Yankee song that's on this list, but I am gonna put Gasolina on our
Oh my
playlist.
gosh.
Because this list reminded me of Gasolina from Daddy Yankee. And I remember in high school in 2005, a few kids from our class did their own music video for
Oh my
Gasolina
gosh.
outside of the Sunoco gas station that's like just down the hill from me over here. And it was hilarious. So, yeah, Daddy Yankee. Hootara Gasolina. Gasolina.
Amazing. Amazing. Why even Bad Bunny needs to put out a song like that. Come on, dude. Number 10 on the list. It's probably one of my favorites on the list from the year. We mentioned it. Lose Control. Missy Elliott in the gang. Like the production value behind that song to come up with the way that song is put together is just iconic. Throw it on.
I feel like the
Like
that
who does that?
I think if there was a sound that could describe how Dan dances, it's that.
Just so
Fair.
much going on in the song. There's really no beat to catch. It's
Right,
just-
right.
You catch whatever beat
Yeah.
you feel is right in that song. The last one of this for me, Still Tippin', Mike Jones, Slim Thug, Paul Wall. That was the whole beginning of that. What was probably like 2 years of just those three being just all over the place. So, but Still Tippin' is just still great. Still great. Yeah. And anytime I want to hear that music, I throw that on. What a good time. People are still making that music sound exactly like that in Houston. It is still ridiculously popular in Texas. Just
Well,
nowhere else.
Jiggy Buckaroo from last week.
Dude.
Jeez.
Dude.
That has
See?
Paul Wall vibes.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just man. But yeah, dude, this was fun this week, guys. I enjoyed this. We got to pick another year at some point. We'll do that.
Just break down years. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
when
Well,
we used
we
to
do
break
need to
down
do
the now, we did the now bracket, right? We did the music for those years. We just need to cover each year now.
We need to do the Mount Rushmore of years and then figure out, and then whatever years are on the Mount Rushmore of years, do those years.
A dedicated episode to the years.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that idea.
Years
All right.
episode.
Very
Well,
cool.
that is what we're listening to. Make sure you check out the Sounds of Brunch everywhere. I mean, not everywhere, on Spotify. The
Yeah, please,
podcast you
don't
can
say
listen to
that.
everywhere. The playlist
No.
just on Spotify. Exclusively on Spotify.
There you
That's
go.
it. Tell
There
Siri,
you go.
tell Alexa to play the sounds of brunch. All right, boys. Any final thoughts on today's brunch breakdown? Jesus Christ.
I'm a big wrestling guy now, so obviously, yeet. I
Yeet.
know what I'm talking about. And go ahead, Dan.
Yeah.
This is going nowhere.
No, it's a great throwback to 2005 because WWE just had a pay-per-view where John Cena and Randy Orton headlined. Their rivalry is literally 20 years old. It's like, so what year really is it? One word, 4 letters. Yeet.
And that's the brunch breakdown. We're out.